Good afternoon out there. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys are staying safe. This video lesson is going to be on writing a linear equation in y equals mx plus b if you are given 2 points. We have done this before, so this is a review topic, but we're going to go through an example and talk about our notes. You should have notes for this, so if you don't have them out, go ahead and pause this video for a moment and make sure to get that out because there is an example problem that we'll work with. I'll go ahead and turn on my background here and shrink me up in the corner and take a look at the notes that you just pulled up. So writing an equation y equals mx plus b when given 2 points. The first step, and this is the most important step no matter what when you're writing an equation, is we have to find the slope. Now, sometimes you'll be given the slope, and sometimes you're going to have to figure it out yourself. Now, if we need to find the slope and we have 2 points, then we need to remember that the slope formula is y2 minus y1 equals x2 minus x1. So we're going to need to use that in order to find our slope. Once we find that slope, whatever value we get, we're going to plug that into point slope form for the letter m. So remember, point slope form is y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. And we're going to plug in for the letter m. Well, after we have that plugged in for the letter m, the next key is that we're going to have to replace the y1 and the x1. So we're going to take one of our ordered pairs and we're going to plug in for the the x1 and the y1. Once we do that, we have an equation that we can now work with. We have an equation in point slope, and we're going to take that equation that's in point slope and we're going to get y alone. And when we do that, we're going to have our equation in y equals mx plus b. Now before we do the example, one of the things we need to understand is how are the clues going to be given to us? So on the assignment that you guys have here, there's going to be 2 sections, and we're going to be doing sections 1 and 2, 1 to 15. Well, in section 1 through 6, they're giving you the graph, and what you need to see is that the points are in the grid. Well, we can find the slope using slope formula, but on this example, you could actually do rise and run to find the slope. I could rise 3 and run 3 and get my slope that way. So when you start looking at step number 1, finding the slope, I can use the formula or I can use rise over run. And those are going to use the slope skills from earlier in the week. Now the second half to your assignment, they give you the ordered pairs without the graph. Now you could graph them if you'd like, or we can use the slope formula. So let's go ahead and do an example using these 2 points from start to finish. The first thing I need to do is I need to label my 2 points. So I've got x1, y1, and I've got x2, y2, because step 1 tells me that I need to find the slope. So we're going to use the slope formula. And I'm going to plug in these values. So y2 is 2 minus y1, which is 8, over x2, which is 4, minus x1, which is 2. So this gives me negative 6 over 2. So my slope is negative 3. I'm going to take this negative 3 and I'm going to plug it in right here for the letter m. So I'm now going to write my equation in point slope. So y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. This negative 3 right here, I'm going to plug in for the letter m because that's where slope goes. So I'm going to put a negative 3 right there. Now the other 2 clues are right here. y1 and x1. And remember, I can use either point Does not matter which one I plug in. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with this one because the labels match. So y minus y1 is going to become y minus, and I look here, y1 is 8, equals negative 3. And then in parentheses, x minus x1 will become x minus, I go over here, and x1 is 2. I have now built my equation in point-slope form. Well, I have done basically all of the hard work, which is building the equation. Step 4 says take point-slope and now get y alone. So let's start by distributing the negative 3 into the parentheses. So this will become negative 3x, and then negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. We'll bring everything else straight down. And now to get y alone, I have to undo minus 8 with a plus 8. Y equals, the 8's cancel out, negative 3x plus 14. And this equation is in mx plus b form. Y equals mx plus b. The m would be negative 3, and the b would be 14. Now we have it in mx plus b. We could, if we wanted to, use the shortcut for graphing. So this was a very brief lesson on taking 2 points and then writing your equation in y equals mx plus b form. I hope this was useful for you, and have a great day.